Okay. Hey, Gene. Okay, I'm trying. There we
Am
go.
I the first one?
You are. Yeah.
Wow. I'm
Well,
usually late. I just got back in time.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, I opened it up and like, okay. There's no.
You thought you were going to be by yourself today.
Hello.
We're beginning to wonder. Hey, Eloise, how you doing, dear?
Great, great, great. How are you all?
Well, you know, it is Wednesday. We're halfway through this week already. It's kind of amazing how that works. It's flown by this week for some reason.
It
Oh,
always flies by when you're having fun.
oh, okay. Is that what it is? Okay. Well, we must be having lots of fun then.
That's right.
These weeks are rolling by really quickly. There's
Right.
Betty and Wanda, and let's see who else is here.
Betty is here?
Yeah, Betty Bates.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just came on. So yeah, there's like 5 of us at this point. Anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
Eloise also.
okay. I didn't get any new work other than Larry Lawrence sent me a drawing, and actually he sent me 2 drawings today, and then June sent a quick sketch that she did from one of Christina Abel's pieces. I guess she did a screen capture or something on it and did the drawing real quick. But you know, if you guys have some work, if you're pushing a little paint around, anything like that, please, you know, send those to me during the week, or, you know, let's get something over here so we can talk about it. And hey, Veronica, how you doing? Okay.
I've said some things, but when you get ready to talk about them, the time runs out.
Oh, well, I know.
Always runs out.
I know it goes by really quick, but I will get to them. I will, you know.
Are they gonna buy the other package so we don't run out of time?
You know, I don't know. You know, they were supposed to have done that.
Okay.
And we were told that they were going to do that, and then it all got put on hold. I don't know why. But
well, you know, they cut out a lot of classes on the email. There must be for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I noticed that. Now, I don't know why. You know, I have no idea why they did that. But yes, they did. And
they're not having a lot of classes.
Right.
Did you get the other lady? It's a bunch of classes.
I did. Yeah, it was about 20 classes that they suspended for about a 2-week period.
Right.
And I don't know why they did that. Now, it may have been that they just didn't have a lot of attendance. I don't know. You know, I have no idea.
It could be that some people didn't submit the information that they were asking for. A
Well,
lot of people didn't do that either, you know?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I don't know how I haven't heard anything back from that phone survey that they did. Did everyone here get that finally? I know, Betty, you got it.
I finally did, but it took several days, and I sent in an email without them sending me one to tell them how much I enjoyed the class, because I waited a week and I never got it.
Okay, but you did eventually get it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I never saw anything.
You never saw anything?
No, it was requested that I send in my email address and phone number twice, and I did that, but I never got anything.
It was on the phone. There was just one question on the phone. They called.
Right. Yeah. And
Right. I did get the phone call too.
When they first began talking about that, they said that it was going to be like an email. And then they changed it to, no, we're not going to do an email. We're just going to do a one call. And so they wanted everybody's phone number and everything so they could put them on the one call list. So, and I've heard from a couple of different people that they didn't get a call, or that they got a call, but it was a couple of days after when they said they were going to do it. So
Yeah, it was later.
was it? Okay. Yeah, I can't tell you what's going on down there.
And it was a crazy question and you couldn't hear them.
Oh,
And
really?
I'll tell you something else. If the call comes in and my phone doesn't recognize the number, if they don't leave a message, I will not call them back because I get a lot of these
Right.
crazy
Yeah.
calls.
Same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we all get our fair share of those. Jeez.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of disappointing because I know in my discussions with Sabrina, what they were trying to, I think, determine was how many people are using this system, and does it make sense to invest money long-term into it so that they can continue it and maybe even upgrade it and improve it. So,
Well, I got a call for people to tell them to get on then.
well, hey, advertising is good,
Yeah.
and the best kind of advertising, as they say, is word of mouth. So if you have friends who had taken classes or who are of the appropriate age and want to, join in classes and things, you can give them my contact information. They can contact me. They can contact Sabrina, Andre, anybody from like Eloise. You were going to, was it Darnell or was it Bowden?
Who?
Eloise?
It's Bowden.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I guess whoever the program coordinator there is, or your facility manager, if you have people who were taking classes with you, and you want to recommend that they get online, they can send their information into them, or they can send it to me. I mean, anybody.
A lot of
Pardon?
I have some
This is
friends.
breaking up badly.
Yeah. Was that Wanda? Yeah.
No,
Somebody.
that was Bernice.
Oh,
That
the
was
Bernice? Oh, okay.
I have friends in Cobb County. Is that permissible?
Absolutely, yeah. No, we service people all over the metro area.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I think they gotta pay
I thought it was
$100.
just Fulton.
Yeah,
$100.
I think for these virtual classes, I think for all the virtual classes, that doesn't make any difference. I think the only thing they're looking at is that it's the age of 55.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you.
Samuel, I'm going to send an email.
There's someone talking behind in the background. Somebody is.
Yeah, whoever is talking loudly, stop it.
Stop.
Yeah, I just muted everybody. Anyway, I can't hear any of you right now. So
You can't hear me? My God.
Yeah, you unmuted yourself. I know. Okay, so again, yeah, if you want, let's say you had people you taking classes with, friends or whatever, and they want to join into any of these classes, again, have them send their information to me, have them send it to Sabrina or Andre. We'll get them on the list, certainly give them the links. As far as what county they live in and things, I don't really know how they're handling that with the virtual classes. And I think with the virtual classes, it doesn't really make any great amount of difference, okay? So that $100 fee for somebody who's out of county, I don't know. I don't know that they're worried about that right at the moment. But certainly, yeah, if we can get more people, that's great, okay? Because I think the more people we have, the more we can justify getting a paid account, which means that we can go and maybe do something a little different and have a little more time to look over, all the work and get a little more in depth about what's happening with it, okay? So I'll leave it at that. But Pardon?
What information do you need? Name, address, telephone?
Yeah,
Email.
yeah. Basically, an email address, their name, and their telephone number. Okay. And again, you know, if they want to join in, again, they can send it to me, and that's fine. You can give my Fulton County address, and then I'll be happy to send them out the links to the classes, or Sabrina or Andre. Okay. So.
You.
But yeah, as we go along and as this kind of picks up and we start doing more stuff, you know, I don't know what kind of restrictions they're going to put on it, but right now I don't think there are a lot, so it would be a good time. So anyway, let's start talking about the work that did get sent in. I don't see Alon on here, and we were going to talk badly about him in particular, because he sent in a couple of things, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about it anyway, just because. And then I don't see Richard on here either. Okay, and I was going to talk badly about both of them. Okay, so I think we've seen this before.
Yes.
Yeah, I showed it.
Last time we were on.
Yeah, I think it was Monday. Yeah, because he had sent it to me. And what I want to do is, this is the exact same painting, and he sent me 4 of these. And I couldn't figure out why at first, and then I got them all together, and then I figured out why. So take a look at the composition on this piece, you know, as it is. And then as you rotate this and turn it, different things happen.
That's what abstracts do.
Mm-hmm. So out of those 4, anybody got any strong opinions about which way they like it better?
I like the last 2 better.
You like the last 2 better?
I like the
Anybody
first
else?
one better.
I like the first one with the point pointing down. To me, I almost thought it was the Degas ballerina.
Uh-huh. Well, could be something like that. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
The last one that is the pointed out is quite nice too. It's completely different view though. It looks like a crown blowing a balloon towards the other angle.
Yeah. For me, Linda, this one is kind of more naturalistic and feels more comfortable to me because it's more like a figure standing in a landscape.
Yeah.
You know, kind of,
Yes.
yeah, breaking the horizon line. So that's kind of what I guess it just kind of feels more natural to me this way. The one that John liked, you know, with it pointing down.
Well, I don't like that one as much.
Yeah, it could, you know, I mean, he kind of pointed out the Degas ballerina, and it could be something like that. But yeah, I kind of saw, for some reason, okay, this is just going on in my head, because it's upside down, it kind of feels like it, and that point looks almost like a knife. It feels like something's been cut into, you know, or punctured.
Yeah.
And this one to me is a bit more disturbing feeling, right?
But this one, I look at it more like a bird that is hugging its head down to the
Yeah,
body.
I see that.
It's
too.
completely different from the last one that I look like. It looks like a person
Yeah.
in that sense.
Okay. Yeah. So, and here's the point of this discussion, is that depending, you know, and particularly, you know, with abstract pieces of art, you know, the direction that they're sitting in or how the space is broken up, it really does have a very strong difference in how you perceive it emotionally. Now, if that's true with an abstract piece of art, because really what you're dealing with here is the element of composition, just think what that can do in a representational painting. See?
I think the third one, it reminds me of an abstract airplane.
This piece right here.
Yeah, it reminds me of an airplane with the front part where the pilots
Propeller.
are at.
Uh-huh.
The back is the not the
The
wing,
tail.
whatever you call it, the tail. That's what it
Okay.
reminds me of. One of my grandson's airplanes.
But you see, to me, this is almost like it could be in a child's illustration book. It could be like an animal or something to that
Right.
effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you could create a lot of different
A
things.
lot of things in your mind for it. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first
Did he
impression.
express the direction?
No, he didn't. You know. So now, when he first sent it to me, I think he sent it to me that way.
No, I
No,
thought
he
it's
sent
the
it to
other
you
one.
with the knife down, like the knife
Yeah,
down.
I think so too. It was
That's
a
the way
knife
you
down.
showed it.
That was first one you
The
showed
point
to
of
us.
what-
Like that?
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
That one,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the way you presented it the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Well.
Because that was very disturbing to me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it is. Yeah, I mean, I get that same kind of reaction to it, because there's some tension in it this way that doesn't seem to exist. I mean, that feels kind of a little bit, like you said, disturbing, I guess is the right description of it. But then this one doesn't. This one seems lighter, kind of a little more playful and happy, right?
This one looked very cheerful, more
It's-
like
it
a
could be
clown is playing
Like
around.
an animal in
It does look like a clown.
water
It does.
sticking
Yeah,
his
it could
head
be.
up or anything.
Okay, Linda, you
Yeah,
have,
but
You have-
if you took the way you had it, if you took it the first time like you had it the first way, it knocked off the bottom.
you mean this one right here?
And we are terrible.
Gene,
As to what? As to what?
is this
That
the
one. If you cut the bottom where that bottom, the 1/3 off that bottom where the pink is,
Yeah.
it looks like a bird. That's a happy thing. But as soon as you got this knife, like you said, like a knife, it looks like something cutting.
Mhm.
That's disturbing. But if you take that bottom half off and just look at it, it looks really sweet. To me, it could be a nice piece.
Yeah,
a
it
nice
does.
piece.
Yeah, it does.
It's
It
disturbing.
changes the whole feeling of the painting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, Linda, you were saying something, but it got kind of lost in
I
translation.
know this connection that we always get here is terrible. Half the time you're stopped dead in the water here.
Oh,
With-
okay. All right. So Linda.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So what was it that you had said earlier? Because it came across kind of broken up, and a couple of people were talking at once.
Are you talking about this picture that you're showing or the last one?
Well, whichever one you were talking
For
about.
this one earlier, I was saying, the last one I was saying at first, I said, it looks like a person is blowing a balloon, but if you look closer, how it is being situated on the bottom, the leg there is like you knead it down, you have something playing around. It's more like a crown that has many things on, beside the balloon on the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pedal on the right, on the left, and then he was leaning down, playing on it. It's kind of like enjoying himself.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, this one does have kind of it's generally a happier feeling to it.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah. Now, and again, that goes back to this discussion about, so we haven't changed the color. We haven't changed the composition itself, right? Everything is exactly where it was, right? And yet you change the direction that this is moving in, and it sort of radically changes the emotional reaction to it. See, you see different things in it, and that's something I want you guys to think about over the next week or two, and I want you to actually do some work. And here's an assignment that I'm going to give you. Okay, I want you to pick 3 emotions. 3, right? So you got happy, sad, angry, whatever emotion you want to pick. And it can be monochromatic, it could be black and white, but it could also be color. And I would suggest color because color a lot of times can influence, how you feel about something, right? Color can make something heavy and dark, or it can make something, very light, kind of whimsical, right? But I want you to pick 3 emotions, and these don't have to be big. I mean, these could be like, 4x5, 6x6, little, studies or whatever. And I want you to do 3 pieces of art, 1 on each emotion. Okay? So just something to play with.
You want it in 3 separate pieces and each one show different emotion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 separate pieces. Okay? And again, these don't have to be large. And let's say that you don't have a lot of materials at home. Let's say you only have like 1 or 2 canvases. You could take a canvas and break it up or divide it into 3 sections or 3 pieces, right? And then do a different emotion in each one. Okay? So you can be creative about how you go about this, but I want you to work with 3 different emotions. See if you can get something that to you sort of represents, what that feels like. Okay? And then we'll try to share it.
Okay.
Let's see. Armando's sending me a text saying he can't get in. I don't know why, but okay. Let's see. Today's the 1st. So why don't we shoot for the 15th? That gives you 2 weeks.
Amanda's probably on the wrong website. He's on the morning one instead of the afternoon.
He may be. I don't know.
I made that mistake.
Did you? Okay. But yeah, let's shoot for the 15th. Okay. And we'll share all of those on the 15th.
Okay.
Is that workable?
Yeah, we'll try.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
so.
That's all we can do, right? Put a little effort into it. So anyway, I wanted to show that to you and have that little discussion. And now we've got something to do. We've got an assignment. And then I wanted to kind of talk about some of the things that have been sent in. Since we're talking about abstracts, we'll go to this piece. And this is Richard Johnson, or Johnston, I'm sorry. Richard, has been painting really for about the last maybe 1.5 to 2 years. And he's gotten into these abstract things, and he's using basically primary, secondary colors on all of his pieces. And I don't know how big this piece is, but he was working for a while with trying to tape the edges and trying to get like a really sharp, clean, very geometric look to the painting. And this one is more freeform and it's just hand painted. But anybody got anything to say about this? About how it makes you feel, what you think about it? Come on.
I think red is agitating.
The red is agitating? Okay.
Agitating, feeling.
All right.
It's just
I mean,
I don't see anything to it. Exactly.
Somebody is kind of breaking up. I know I hear somebody trying to talk, but I can't tell what they're trying to say.
So he put this on a black background.
Yeah, it
And then
seems
he-
like
And
it's
then he put the frame, then he put the blue in as a frame of the picture itself, but yet it's not quite straight.
right.
Is that what he wanted to do to make it lopsided a little bit like that?
Well,
Off shelter a little bit?
Yeah, that's the thing. It is painted, and the thing is, the canvas wasn't originally black, because if you look at it, he's painted around this. And so, no, he didn't make it, you know, perfectly square or parallel to the edges. And it gives it some kind of motion or some kind of movement, doesn't it? Because
Yeah.
it's not square.
Right.
Now, he also, on the photo, he cropped it off on the top. I don't know whether there's more black up above it or what. But,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm not really being able to see the whole canvas. But it does something, again, you know, this is a compositional thing where, you know, those
I like the
slight,
diagonal.
yeah,
The
those slight
diagonals are
angles.
nice. I like that. Mhm.
Yeah, the movement of it, you know, because it is kind of this strong 45-degree angle, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess my question is, do you see it moving downward or do you see it moving upward?
I guess you could take your pick.
Yeah, I
Downward
again,
primarily.
you know, it's like the way you look at it and the way you respond to it, everybody's going to be a little different, right? And it could be that these are moving down or that they're moving up.
Or sideways.
Yeah, I mean, the way I kind of look at it is I generally kind of see it moving upward.
I look at it, it looks like upward because of the white. I think your eyes go up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, toward the top.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting I wish he were on because I would like him to talk a little bit about it, tell us a little bit about what his actual intent was. Beyond that, I haven't seen, I don't think Rebecca Pickney is online right now, but this is something that she was doing. And again, this is that last class assignment where I sent the gardenias.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think I had a discussion with her at one point where I wanted to see her push the value over here, and she sent one in where she had actually made it darker on this side, and it worked pretty well. But and then Naomi sent this in. This is it looks like a watercolor.
Mm-hmm. Does.
Yeah, and notice that she used, it's basically two colors. It's sort of a reddish tonality and then with the blue over it.
Got a little green in there too.
Yeah, I think maybe where they overlapped and mixed,
Yeah.
you know, it got a little greenish,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where they sort of melded together a little bit. But again, you know, it's an interesting effect between the warm versus the cool. And then, of course, the light itself is cold, being white. So, and then she did another figure, and this is maybe a little more abstract, but again, you know, much warmer colors overall. And, you know, it's got, again, you know, it's kind of a nice feel. Now, she actually wet her background and actually put in kind of a soft, warm color back here, you know, and I kind of like the effect of that. I'd like to see her take it a little bit further. And then this is the most recent thing that she sent in, and this is kind of a combination of a drawing. Well, I guess it is. I guess it's all a drawing. And it's probably those oil pastels that she was using. And she's getting a little better at it, you know. She's getting a little better coverage, you know, on those areas, building it up a little bit more. Let's see who else we got. All right, and then I got drawings. All right, Larry sent that in. So, Larry, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Ah, there you are. Okay. All right. So you did better with the eyes this time.
A little better.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think this eye is still kind of moving a slightly different direction than this one. And if you had kind of like taken that corner right there and dropped it down to about right there, then it would kind of make that arc like it's moving around the face a little bit. You know, it seems to work with the nose, though that might still be a little high. probably bring that down just a bit and kind of straighten that out. But then the mouth seems to kind of move around. So that's getting a little better. And then you asked me about this piece. Okay. So here's my thoughts on this piece. Okay. I like what you're doing. You know, I'd like to actually see you develop it a little bit further. And I like the contrast between the figure and the flowers down here, the pattern. But see where you've stopped it right here? I'd kind of like to see you bring that down and around.
Where's that? Point to it.
Here at the bottom. So if you could kind of continue that down around the bottom of her dress.
Okay.
So that she's actually standing sort of in, or the flowers are kind of around her rather than she's kind of cutting them off.
So you haven't seen my second one I sent you?
I guess not.
It's a lot different than this one.
Is it a lot? Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, but, and the other thing is this supposed to be a cast shadow or is it a tone? Or do we know?
Yeah, it's like a shadow. It just seemed that she was standing there, you know, like there was nothing behind her. And when I put the shadow there, it made it look more like she was standing out a little bit more.
Well, yeah, it did. It popped her figure forward because you've got a darker value around it. Now, the question, though, is you've got flowers behind her. So the question is, if there's a wall or a vertical surface that has, you know, and there's light hitting her and casting a shadow back there, it's like, how far away is that wall? It feels pretty close, right?
Can I have a little word on this? This is Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I used to walk and take picture, and I saw my shadow on the floor. And looking at this picture, I love the shadow at the back, but I think the shadow, if you look at the picture itself, on the right-hand side, that shadow should be eliminated, then it will stand out better. In other words, if you see the shadow, you can see that at the back, but you shouldn't be seeing here on the right.
Right, yeah, it can't, well.
That's how I view it.
Yeah, if it were like somebody shot a photo with a flash and they were fairly close to the wall, you might see the shadow on both sides of them, but it's kind of unusual. But I kind of agree. I would put the shadow on one side of her or the other. I wouldn't put it on both sides if it's going to be a shadow.
I just felt like I needed something to make it pop out more.
Right. Okay.
And it's almost like she's, to me, a ghost, and she's standing over the flowers, you know, not really.
Not in the flowers.
You understand that.
Okay. All right. Well, think about that one. I'll take a look at your next one, okay?
Yes, sir.
Sent me. All right. And then June, I want to talk to you about this one. So June took Christine Abel's piece, and I guess you did a screen capture of it. And you did a quick drawing. All right.
Oh my goodness.
So now you've gotten yourself in trouble, June.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
I want you to take this piece and, okay, you know, you can use the figure and things out of it, but I want you to spend a little more time designing it and put it in some kind of context, some kind of environment, right? And, and if you're going to copy this, you know, look at some Art Deco type of artwork and then look for some graphic patterns or shapes or something in there to incorporate with the drawing to make it feel, you know, more like an Art Deco piece of work.
Okay, I'm try. I will try. Yeah. But again, you know, and here's the important thing. In trying to draw this,
again, you have to be very, very careful, and it's not about adding a lot of details. It's about simplifying everything to make it simpler and more graphic.
Okay.
So take a little time and really look at her, look at the piece that you were copying, right? And really think about why she did the things that she did before you go in there and, start trying to draw. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, and that's it. That's all the work I've got to talk about. Here. And like I said, you guys need to send me some stuff, okay? And like Eloise, I hadn't seen anything from you since last week. But if you got more stuff, are you painting these days? You are?
Yes, I paint about every day.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, share some of the stuff that you're doing, and even if it's not finished, because I kind of like to hear what you're doing and what you're thinking about as you're doing it. Okay. And the same is true with like Betty and, Beverly and Fran and Jean, and you guys have to be spending your time doing something, right? And Veronica, are you here?
I'm here.
Yep. All right. I had a piece of yours and I thought I had it in the mix, but it didn't show up. It's that building?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the Fisher Building in Detroit.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, because I was going to ask you about that. Okay.
Yeah. It's a work in progress. I need to get more value in that piece.
Yeah, it's kind of right now it's kind of a dark shape.
Yeah.
And I'll find that piece and I'll make sure to get it in the mix. Like I said, I thought I had it in here today, but not. But I do remember it and I wanted to talk about it. So why, I guess what inspired you to paint the Fisher Building?
Well, there was a friend that helped me with my business and she's from Detroit and that's her favorite building. And I thought that I would work on that piece to give to her as a thank you.
Oh, okay. Now, I think if I remember correctly, the Fisher Building is an Art Deco building, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the architect who built that. And I want to say it's a guy by the name of Johnston, who was the architect of that. And it's like it's almost like a marble obelisk.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's up at the top and at the base, there's a lot of carving and kind of decorative, like Art Deco motifs. So, and also I think the interior and the entryway, I remember that they did a lot of, there was an artist who did the design of the interior of that. I'll have to do some looking around and I'll see what I can find on it for you, okay?
Okay.
But we'll talk about that next week.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And just to give you, if there's anybody here who hadn't been here in the wasn't here on Monday afternoon or Monday morning, John, I think, had made a request about trying to talk about some of the old masters, right? And so next Monday, I'm going to start off with the late Gothic and Renaissance, and we're going to talk about some of the Renaissance artists and how the art changed from the late Gothic and sort of transitioned into the Renaissance period. Okay.
Okay.
We talked about people like Caravaggio and Raphael, Giotto, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo. Those were all Renaissance artists, but we're going to be talking also about some of the people who predated them, and actually some of the people who actually taught them, so some of the artists who preceded them. So that's on the menu for next week on Monday. Okay? So
Are we having classes on Friday?
yeah, that's a good question. The answer is I have a class scheduled. I will be here. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, if you guys want to jump on at 11 o'clock and then at 2 o'clock, yeah. And again, for Friday, send me some drawings, you know, if you've been doing some sketching or stuff at home, okay? And speaking of that, Naomi? Earth calling Naomi.
She's here.
Okay.